Hi, I'm Tim Roberts. This is the first video on Groove 1, and what we're really going to be talking about this thing is finding parts to play. Not being a singer-songwriter type, whether your instrument is guitar or piano or, geez, bass or drums for that matter. You're not on your own anymore. You're in an ensemble. You're in a band. You're in a group, an ensemble. And everybody has their own parts to play. The idea is going to be that this tune fits together like a mosaic, not just a bunch of things pounding or strumming or just driving on through. But there's a method to this. You can pick it up by years and years and years of guys busting you on a bandstand going, dude, stay off of my part, that's my part. I would rather have you learn what you're shooting for earlier than having to go through the embarrassment of that and the years of experience to make it happen, okay? So what you're playing in Groove 1 is a 12-bar form. This particular tune is going to sound like a blues. It's in a shuffle feel, as opposed to, okay? Key of A. 12-bar form has 3 phrases. Each of the phrases has 4 bars in it, and each bar, both melodically, if it's a vocal tune, lyrically, and certainly in this case, harmonically, each phrase is represented by a different concept. Harmonically, the first phrase is about the 1 chord in the key. The second phrase is about the 4 chord in the key. The third phrase is about the 5 chord in the key. And then the whole thing repeats. It's what's called a strophic form. It's like verse after verse after verse after verse, like a hymn. The form never changes. There's no chorus. There's no bridge. It's the same thing over and over and over. But the important thing to playing a blues or in any kind of 12-bar form effectively is to understand that phrasing. And that phrasing, little changes to it that you make phrase to phrase, verse to verse, tune to tune, enables you to play a blues gig 4 hours a night. It is doable with only 3 chords. So let me play this again, make sure we understand what we're talking about here form-wise. A little count off at the front end, an intro. First phrase is about the 1 chord. Now there's a lot of other stuff going on than just chords, and we'll break this down in a second. Second phrase, it's about the 4 chord, the 4th chord in the key. The third phrase here is about the 5th chord in the key, E. So one more time, let's talk about that and think a little. Here's the first phrase again, 1 chord. Now the melody's out of the way and the background vocals are out of the way. Here's the 4 chord on phrase 2. Things are similar, but they're different. Here's the 5 chord on the 3rd phrase. Similar and different is the thing we're always trying to balance. One more time. 1 chord. If you're already noticing on each reiteration or each strophe or each new verse, each guy in the rhythm section, piano, guitar, bass, does something a little bit differently so that it doesn't sound the same all the time. When the vocals and the background vocals, which are kind of like horn punches, come in, everybody simplifies. They get out of the way of the melody part. Okay, this is the last time through, the 4th verse. So the 4th time through, we're going to play this ending section, this little signature, if you will, at the bottom of the tune to take it out. So every tune, by the way, even a 12-bar form, has to have an intro and it has to have an outro to make the thing into a song. Okay, we get this concept? All right, let's stop here, then we'll come back and we'll break this thing down.